A tale of two dreamers. A long time ago, in the beautiful city of Cairo, lived a rich and prosperous, happy man. And he had a big house in the city, and he was also very generous. He loved to entertain poets and musicians and artists in his big garden behind his enormous house. And there, under the spreading branches of the oak tree, he would entertain, and they would tell each other stories and listen to poetry and discuss philosophy. And he was always very generous in supporting them. And he was so generous that he never used to take into account how much money he was spending. He just didn't care. And in fact, over time, he was getting less and less wealthy. And one day he realized that due to his generosity, he was no longer a wealthy man. And this started to concern him. But that night he came to realize this. He had a dream. And in the dream, there was a spirit, a tall figure who was dripping wet with water. And the spirit said to him, "Go to Isfahan, your fortune awaits you there." And he woke up shortly after that. Without any hesitation, he decided to go to Isfahan. So the next day, without telling anyone, he set off. And he set off on his lengthy, dangerous journey through deserts, through strange lands, through hostile populations, hostile animals, and he survived them. And eventually, after many weeks, he reached the great city of Isfahan. And he arrived there at night. All the inns were closed, and he had no money to stay at inns anyway, so where could he stay? He thought, I will stay in the grounds of the mosque, which is where travellers often stayed. So he entered the grounds of the mosque, and he lay down to sleep. Now it so happened that very night, thieves came to break into the mosque to steal what was inside. And they tried to break into the mosque, and the alarm was raised, and they ran off. And then the police came, and they saw the man sleeping there. They thought he was a thief, so they dragged him with great force and violence to the palace of the governor, and beat him black and blue, and threw him at length into the dungeon. The next day, they roused him early in the morning, and they dragged him to the presence of the governor. And the governor looked at him, this man who was dishevelled and bloody and in rags from his beating, and said to him, "Who are you? Where have you come from? Why are you here?" And the man told the governor the story about the dream. He said, "I had a dream, and in my dream I was told that my fortune awaited me in Isfahan. And this," he said, looking at himself, his wretched state, "this is the only fortune that has been given to me." And the governor looked at him with incredible disbelief and contempt and said, "You came all this way on the strength of a dream? I have dreams. I had a dream the other day, and in the dream there was a house and an oak tree with spreading branches and a fountain, and underneath the fountain there was a huge amount of treasure. And do you think that I, on the strength of a stupid dream like that, could waste my time as you have wasted your time?" So he took out a purse and he chucked a couple of coins on the ground and said to the man, "Take those coins, leave Isfahan, and never show your face here again, you foolish man." So the man took up the coins and he started back on his journey back to Cairo. And he took him days and weeks through distant lands and hostile tribes, hostile animals. And eventually, at the end of the day, after many weeks travelling, he arrived back in his house in Cairo. And he went immediately to the garden, to the oak tree, and there next to the oak tree, to the fountain. And he dug underneath the fountain, and there was a huge amount of treasure, just as had been in the governor's dream, and so that his fortune really did lie in Isfahan.